Scrumptious cookies, welcome. I am here as your guide for September, otherwise known as Rectember. This is the Bitcoin chart that we're looking at. We did have a nice recovery upwards, and I really do mean nice because it is a big relief to see us trying to not get scammed for once. The whole market is down. Social media engagement is down. Twitter viewers are down. YouTube views are down. People aren't doing anything out there. But you, obviously, like, subscribe, bell button, all. Appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to shock the algorithm, friends. You know, during these times, I've been through this before. I'm going to share with you some insight. This is not the time to go away. You can really feel the boredom come in. It's not the price that's doing it. It's the boredom. And it's people getting really frustrated because there's really nothing to do. Something comes up, something happens. This happened in 2019. I remember the exact time periods it happened. Everyone was losing their minds. And where are we going to go from here? Well, you know, I'm going to go through my charts as well just to show you. I do this every single day for you guys. On a weekly chart, at least we have this little green candle of friendship for Bitcoin. And there's actually more to look at because we saw the CPI data come out. The CPI data came out a bit hot. And if you ever want to know what really goes on, friends, so everybody looks at the stock market. You say, oh, is it interpreting it up or down? But it's not that good because the stock market's really efficient. There's too many insiders, scammers, and thieves with trillions of dollars. It is a good thing to check, but most of the time it actually will do nothing because the market's smart. It's really smart. I know you won't believe me because 2022 we saw, you know, a lot of the poopy towns coming because of high inflation. We saw all that, but most of the time stocks process it actually very well. It's because everybody's super efficient and processing the data, economic data, GDP, jobs. Everybody uses. There's companies that do their own surveys to try to see if CPI data is coming up or down because they're all looking for an edge because the US markets are so thick. If you get any bit of edge for inflation or any of this data coming out, you can make like billions and billions of dollars over time because it's just so much liquidity to hit. It's not like in crypto where, you know, a $5 million order can sweep something 30%. You can put on big size on leverage. So a good chart to look at when data comes out is the US 2-year bond. If you just type in US O2Y, this gives you an idea of where the market thinks bond yields are going to be in 2 years. You can put on a daily chart. You can see we're at the tippy top up here. You're going to zoom in to this little number on the right-hand side. You can see, actually, you can't, doesn't really matter. Okay, that's 4.91%, 4.97%. If you've noticed, the interest rate right now for the US of A, you go to forexfactory.com, you see down here, down left, US of A, 5.5%. So there is a discrepancy. You're always wondering, like, you know, when's it going to come? When's it going to come? You don't know when. It's a period of time, but it's share with you that the market's thinking something different. It's always expecting a move to come. Usually the expectations are not that correct on the extremes, but this is such an enormous move from bonds. You know, if you put on a monthly chart, you get to see something. This is something interesting. This amount of back and forth uncertainty, you've never seen it before. In the past, it was up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. In the past here, this is the part of many years here since 1989, man. So up here, it's like everyone's like wondering, like, what the hell is going on here? Look, I know it's going to sound crazy, but what I feel, this is just me, I feel like when the Fed cuts, I feel like everybody's going to expect them to cut down to 0. But they're probably just going to stop at like 2.5. And that might be the reason why we don't get as big of a crypto bull market. That's what the journalists might explain. Okay, after the fact, maybe in the next bear market, there might be one of the people commenting say that. So I don't know why I feel like this, just because I know deep down they're scamming somewhere. They're printing money. They're inflating debt away. They're doing stuff in the background. We can't put our finger on it because the system is overly complex for a reason. But I know they're doing something shifty. The governments always do something shifty. They're going to let inflation run hot, but the data's not going to say it is, and the rates aren't going to go to where we think it's going to go. And so when you put it all together, don't forget, I've got to remind you, okay, houses are the economy. They always say this. You always hear this saying, houses are the economy. Houses are retail. When people aren't buying houses, it's like a number one factor. It's like, okay, retail don't feel good. So this is the thing they actually target when they want to slow inflation down. So looking at crypto, right, on the weekly super trend, once again, still in the zone, okay? Aren't you glad you have a friend here who said, well, you know, look, I'll turn bearish if we flip the trend. I really will. Even though, look, we feel bearish, but I mean, like, it actually turned bearish. But we haven't. We're green. It's still green. So it's going to be cool if we actually do make it to this box of friendship where Roca Negra and the other ETFs hopefully get approved because of the corrupt SEC doing their extreme corruption. It'll be fantastic because then you get to look back and people will say, how did you make it? How did you make it? And you say, well, it's the weekly super trend. That's it. Now, don't pay too much attention to this because a lot of people are going to think that this is some sort of secret indicator. It's not, friends. What happens is markets, they fake out so much up and down. What people end up doing is they keep putting up the time frame. So, you know, the daily time frame flips so much. Green, red, green, red, you know what I mean? So we just go up. Okay, what about the 3-day? You know, the 3-day was good. The 3-day didn't have that many flips. The 3-day was for 10. Look at this. This is perfect to see, right? Look at the distance between these. There weren't that many flips. Red, green, and look, it just stayed green. This is a 3-day chart. Okay, see how nice it is? But look what happens. Look what happens. Look at this, friends. This is why markets, something's changing. There's more players in crypto now. Look at this. Red, green, flip, fake out, fake out. Look at this. Imagine it comes here. Imagine it goes up again. That'll be the 3rd fake out in a row. Now, look, you got to learn this. You're going to try to be sold on indicators that you think is going to give you an edge, but they don't give you an edge. I still can't believe people don't know this. When the indicator flips on any of these trend confirming indicators, you have to look at the end of the candle and where it closes. That's your entry. So what people think is, see this indicator, see where it says buy here? People think that you were able to buy Bitcoin at $20,600. That's completely wrong. The indicator only flipped green here. At the end of this candle, it confirmed. So you aren't buying $20,600. You are buying $28,000. You see this distance? Huge. Oh my gosh. Big. This is really important. This is how people lose money, friends. They don't understand that markets and indicators, okay, it takes time to confirm. Once you confirm it, then you can get in. Look at this. Your buy entry doesn't look so good now, does it? You only go up 10% and then you come back down and it flips red again. Minus 10%. Whereas people are just grabbing the ruler here. They go, oh, wow, I'm making 40%. No, you're not. That's why there's a lot of these fake outs. You got to be careful of indicators that have too much fake outs. Longer the time frame, the better. As you know this, right? You're riding a longer trend. It takes a lot more money to move and spook it around. You need a big amount of bad news to come and get something to turn. And I'd like to just draw something to your attention. Every day, without question, firstly, why am I trending? Again. Secondly, every day I see people talk about Black Swans. Virtual Bacon, friend of the channel, very good man, Dennis. He talks about, he's made a thread here. He goes, as we near the year's end, many are wondering, could Bitcoin dip below 20K? Let's unpack 3 Black Swan events. Like, let me tell you this, all right? Black Swans can't even be written. A Black Swan is literally like, not even an alien lands down. Like a giant series of Disney characters, you know, like a giant Mickey Mouse lands down with laser eyes, just starts shooting off all the buildings of San Francisco. That's a Black Swan. Not something where we can make a thread and think about it. And it doesn't even really matter whether you know how to describe it or not. What I want to tell you is this, all right? If you're talking about Black Swans, if people are talking about them, it ain't happening. It's just not happening. It's on everybody's minds. I know you're gonna hate to hear this, but it's priced in. The weak hands aren't in. I want to share with you this story, all right? During 2019 and 2020, nobody was thinking about a return of $4,000. So if we go back to Bitcoin land, right, no one was thinking back to $4,000. So after we went up here, no one was thinking, okay, 4K never again. Remember, there was no zombie virus. 4K was all the way down here. You see that? All the way down here. No one was thinking about it. And up here, DaVinci J15, also a friend of the channel. DaVinci bought like 2,000 Bitcoin back in at 4K. He wanted to buy back lower because we all thought it was going to 1K, right? And I went all in. Now, when it went up to 12K, 13K, he capitulated. He bought the other 2,000 Bitcoin up here. And he was the only guy who I saw who was talking about a double dip return to 4K. The only guy. But guess what happened? The market went so euphoric up here, he gave up on the idea. Now, I believe it was always still in the back of his mind, but he never spoke about it again. He never spoke about it again. He was just full on bullish. And then, here we go. The Black Swan zombie virus came. Isn't it fascinating that he always said, it's crazy, he always said when institutions miss the boat, they will just bring the whole boat back. He always believed we were going to come back to hit this 4K zone, and we did. It's crazy. You know, it comes with a zombie virus. People say, oh, that doesn't happen, but it's almost like it was always going to happen. So what do you do during these times? Well, I want to throw back this nice repo chart, okay? What do we actually do here? Of course, I'm just going to keep holding. No matter what you're playing, your portfolio, you got to keep holding, friends. The volatility is nasty. The time period is nasty. But this chart, I can't help but wonder, the government, what they're doing in the background. This is the reverse repo chart. This is where they sell securities. They put it in a bank, treasury securities. The number going up here is their inventory go up. And look, when it goes down, suddenly we get a stock market rally. This is when they put the stock market in. This is the stock market chart. You know, I can just show you right now the chart without Bitcoin. It is very interesting how, look at this. You know, the markets were all down here. This is the S&P 500. The blue line is the S&P 500. Look at this. They started getting rid of the securities, and look what happens. They go, oh, wow, look at this. What a coincidence, hey? There are no coincidences. They start spending the securities, and somehow it just winds up in the stock market. What's going on? I thought it's all meant to be. Look, this game, it's rigged. All right, it's rigged. They know. They know they've got to keep the stocks going. They have to keep it strong while they keep interest rates high. They can't afford the collapse. But you know what they're doing? They're getting better and better at mitigating this extreme fear risk and how to plug it. Because what they're doing is they're getting more and more control. Now, all we're hoping is that someone gets a whiff of it. Someone gets a whiff, someone gets a sniff of it, and then we get more resurgence in Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's it going to take? It might take some sort of other banking crisis, something where their standard system doesn't actually plug the hole. They have to like add another system in, and that's where everybody goes, wait a minute, crypto really does have a use case. But you know, nothing's changed. This was always pre-programmed. We already knew this. But it is what it is, you know. Markets and cycles, they just work this way. It's just someone's got to light a match, and then everything starts exploding after that. Make sure you like, subscribe, press the bell button, and all. Appreciate every single one. You're going to catch you in the next one.